Hey, what's up everyone? This is Al of NFGF, NFGFmusic.com. I'm over here by this beautiful pond, and I wanted to make this video to talk about what I've learned from my alone time, especially so much alone time just writing with a pen and paper and reading Eastern philosophy. And there's a passage in the Tao Te Ching that says, can you step back from your own mind and understand all things? Something like that, somewhere along those lines. And that's so true. Like, I step back and I felt like I understand a lot more, because when I'm in this Western environment, when I'm like all caught up in this, I would probably call it like a capitalism, and not no more a hunting gathering society, but a capitalism where we focused on which is not bad. I'm not putting it down, but there's a lot of there could be a lot of that gives us a society. It seems like that we're so close together that we're more far apart than ever. But that could be true. But using the technologies, I like to listen to teachings from philosophers that like to understand, or maybe Zen monks like Thich Nhat Hanh that understand the lone time of life. And just look at this duck. This duck just coming over here. I'm a little distracted. So I step back from pretty much just stepping back from the old mind, and that's the combination of mind, body, and spirit. So it's spirit is separate from mind, or is believed in a lot of Eastern philosophy or religions like Buddhism, Hinduism, that there's like mind, body, spirit, and just taking the consciousness and just observing the mind. And I felt like I was able to just understand a lot more, rather than just reacting to things that come up in the mind. So that's what I just kind of like breathe in and just focus on the breath. That's what I kind of try to remind myself a lot. I've been watching a lot of like Thich Nhat Hanh videos and reading his books, and it just talks about like coming back to your home. Like this body is our home, so whatever we take it, it's we could be home right here. And we think our home is what we own, what we possess, with what we physically possess. And it turns out that's none of these things are permanent. So that's what I felt. I felt that when I traveled, I felt like I was home. I felt like home in this body. And the universe, the logic of the universe. The more time I spend in nature, the more time I spend around outside the urban environment, the more I understood. I felt like I understood nature and the whole universe. Like everything made sense to me. The ecosystem, life, death, the combination of just everything being out in nature just helped me understand things a lot more than just. It just helped me get away from this urban environment. So yeah, that's one thing. And that going back to that passage from the Tao Te Ching, can you step back from your mind and understand all things? And I found that to be so profound. And sometimes, I don't expect anybody to be weird like me, but I like to listen to audios when I go to sleep, and just have it on, a lot of times I'll just have it on repeat. It could be like, it could be like Thich Nhat Hanh, it could be like the audiobook, like the Tao Te Ching. And like I've been writing a lot about that, and I've been writing a lot about trying to decipher and understand the Tao Te Ching, and trying to grasp it, because I don't have it. It's like I said, it's like Fight Club. Once you start talking about the Tao, you don't have the Tao. So it's like, how do you have the Tao? It's like, how do you get it? It's like, because you don't physically obtain it. So it can be a very confusing thing, but that's part of it, and the confusion is part of the duality of life. There's rationality and there's irrationality, and to understand life is to, I, I believe maybe it's to understand both. We're not, we act on emotion and justify it with logic. I do that too, obviously. Every human being does that, whether they understand themselves or understand their cognitive biases or not. And I read a lot about cognitive biases. I have a psychology textbook, Laura A. King, Science of Psychology too, and I'd like to dig into that and some other books. And I'm a very uneducated person, so I have to stay smart. I have to stay away from people that could potentially screw me over. So this alone time with myself is I feel like it's extremely important, because I've had experiences in my life where I risked being around the wrong people, even being in a car, driven from one place to another. So that made me just really want to keep my head down, keep working, and just be grateful that I have this mind and body and spirit, whatever you want to call it, consciousness, and just be grateful for all those things. I kept my head down, keep working, and then I saved up money, built credit, all that business, because I love commerce. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I love transactions and I love doing things. I just don't like not having money. Obviously, that's the one thing I suck at. I become a jackass when I don't have money to myself. I'm like, God, fuck, I was like, and of course I borrow money from my dad or from parents, and that's not great. It's the first time I had to do that in almost a year now. But yeah, that's one thing. I felt like I had to get out there that I'm not perfect, and that I'm still, and just even just taking just getting money, there's some kind of weird karmatic effect of just these things, of just obtaining without consequence or without some kind of exchange for energy. And it seems like just getting things leads to less happiness. But what leads to more happiness is working towards something with purpose and then obtaining it, rather than just obtaining it without working towards it. Because working towards it and obtaining it, from my personal experience, I'm not talking about anybody else, from doing that, I felt a sense of well-being and happiness, and I guess I could say pride too. But when I obtained something and didn't work for it, I was more, I guess, irritable. Something missing in life. I was a little bit more depressed, and I love working. Life is what I found out. I mean, for me personally, I'm not talking about anybody else. This is my experience in my own life, that everything good doesn't come easy. Like, everything in my life that was good came with hard work, and because that led to purpose. But I'm not saying this is true for everyone. This is from my life experience, entire life. But everything that was bad was just handed to me on a silver platter, and that always just made me more of a selfish fuck. So and so when I make music, I make my own money, and I work fucking hard towards it, and I could become proud of it. That's why the project's slow, and that's why I could use people's help, and but I'm not gonna make excuses for myself. I'm just going to do it, and what happens, and I believe whatever happens in the universe, it's whatever, if it's believed to be good or bad, one thing is certain, that it's correct. So that's not saying that is good or bad, it's just is. It's Tao, it's the way in Eastern philosophy. It's the duality of the universe, the yin yang, the good, the bad, the masculine, the feminine. So I study a lot about this stuff and would love to, like, I've been writing my own philosophy in the mornings a lot of times. So that's my take. Everything I obtained easy wasn't good for me. It turned out to be less pleasing. But everything I actually obtained from everything I obtained that was hard work, I felt a sense of satisfaction. But in either of those situations, we had the potential, I mean, at least, yeah, to potential to actually feel happy in either given situation. I'm not an expert at both or any, because I'm pretty cowardice myself, you know. I got a lot of fears. I still work on. I got a lot of I just have a lot to work on, you know. I'm not a perfect person, and that's why I feel like Eastern philosophy or having a own personal philosophy learned or even passed down helps me a lot. So what helps you, you know? Do you have like a philosophy that helps you get around? Because I'm not perfect. You know, I'm just I'm working on it, and I'm making progress, but you know, progress is not guaranteed, so I just gotta work towards it. So yeah, if you have any questions or if you want to get in touch, it's Al of NFGF on Instagram, at Al of NFGF, ALOF NFGF, Al of NFGF, nfgfmusic.com, and the email is al@nfgfmusic.com. Yeah, I would love to talk about this stuff more, about everybody, about with y'all. And if you want to, you know, feel free. You know, I'm working during the daytime, like I'm super trying not to fucking cuss as much. I'm super busy between I want to say 12 p.m. to like up until 5 or 7 p.m. or maybe even 8 or 9, or maybe even 10 p.m., you know, depending on how hard I'm working with lift and all that. And sometimes I work early in the mornings, but a lot of times, like especially about like 9 p.m. or before, probably before like 12 p.m. I'm generally free. Generally, I'm not gonna say all the time because I gotta be busy this week and next week. But yeah, I'm gonna be more social, and I'm gonna do my best to you know, contact everybody. I'm working on the song, and the song's coming out great. I put it up on Facebook a little bit, showed you all a little bit of a little preview of the song, so I'm excited about that. I'm getting some of my philosophy out there, and I love it. It's not happy, it's not sad, it's it is what it is, and I enjoy it doing this, and I enjoy you. So I hope everybody has a good day. Yeah, if you want, you know, share the video. That would help a lot. So peace out, everyone.